Whoa. Whoa, sorry guys. I thought this was the bathroom.
Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. A year ago I showed you an up-and-coming looter shooter from the creators of Gears of War and some of the devs behind Fortnite. This is Outriders. And you know me, I love to promote games that let players get their hands on some gameplay without shelling over any cash. Right now you can play the first section of Outriders totally free to see if it's your kind of game. I've teamed up with Square Enix to break down why you should try it for yourself and to help you pick a class too. As this is a sponsored post, there is a custom link in the description below should you want more info about the platform you play on. And by the way, it's a cross-play title, so PlayStation, Xbox, PC and even Stadia can all play together. Anyway, enough intro, let's look at Outriders. Outriders to me is a blend of a bunch of great games, namely Destiny, Borderlands and The Division. So right away, if you enjoy any of those titles, this one deserves your attention. The story follows humanity as it's forced to leave Earth, which has become a barren waste ground, kinda like the city I live in. You'll be playing through those events and experiencing what gave us our abilities and powers. I really want to talk about those powers and who you should choose on your first playthrough, because in my opinion, that is the element of Outriders which is the most unique aspect. Outriders is a looter shooter, which as you know means we shoot many enemies who then drop loot, which we use to upgrade our character. Rinse and repeat. The weapons upgrade, the clothing stats upgrade, basically numbers keep going up. That is the addictive element to this type of outing. In addition to tons of guns, our Outriders are altered beings who possess very unique abilities, which are classed in 4 ways. Okay, I can't wait any longer. Take a look at this. These are the abilities of my personal favourite class in Outriders, known as the Trickster. Each character we pick can harness 3 skills at once. I'm going to stick to the first 3 you'll encounter in the demo for each class. The first Trickster ability is Temporal Blade, which paralyzes and slices an enemy right in front of your eyes, and more likely than not, they'll explode in a bony burst. Oh, it's satisfying. The second ability is the most awe-inspiring thing of beauty, the Slow Trap. It's like a Destiny Titan bubble, yet it's not a shield. Bullets can permeate this, but once those bullets are inside, they slow down, and so do the enemies too. Slow motion. This allows us, the Trickster, to get heavy damage on foes, and teaming it with the first ability, we get this. And if all that wasn't enough, the third ability lets the Trickster utilize something called Hunt the Prey. It's basically a teleporter which lets us land right behind the enemy. They do react pretty quickly, but if you have a shotgun, this can be ultra satisfying. Here's all 3 powers in a single play. I've got a feeling I like this a little too much. And remember, that's only the first 3 abilities. Each class has 5 more. So the Trickster manipulates time and space to get up close and personal with enemies, but if that's not your bag, then try the Pyromancer, a long-range class, with gadgets like those found in Borderlands. Have a look-see. The Pyromancer's first ability is a grenade effectively, a mine which can be thrown pretty far distances. It then waits to be triggered and pops up to cause maximum damage. This is to keep enemies away from the Pyromancer. Range is key to this class. The second ability is the Cryo Turret. It's like a thrown down extra companion which gains aggro. It deals freeze damage and can be used to flank enemies or trap them. If you're playing solo, this is a great thing to have with you. But by far the best thing of the first 3 abilities is the Pain Launcher. That's legit its name. A missile launcher that decimates everything it hits, even working across chasms and behind cover. Really fun to use. Let's go back to close-up and in-your-face action with the Devastator. The Devastator utilizes the ground beneath our feet to get the edge in battle. These guys are like the tank class of the group, and they're happy to take damage as long as they're dealing damage. What makes this class feel great is the third ability unlocked, the Gravity Leap. We take to the skies, then select a target to crush them with rocks and rubble. There's a certain satisfaction to using your butt as a weapon. The Devastator also has a seismic interrupt, which is a punch to the ground causing like a micro earthquake of damage and interrupts enemies. And finally, look at this! Additional armor is added which absorbs 65% of all attacks. It's a thing of beauty. And keep in mind there's another 5 abilities to unlock after this point, like a spike that impales fools. There's some impressive mechanical depth here. And finally we have the Pyromancer, the medium range jack of all trades, master of none class. But this guy has literal fire at their fingertips. Firstly, you'll unlock Heatwave. A wall of fire flies towards and ignites enemies, putting them in a fit of panic. We then have the Feed the Flames ability, which is like a whip of fire, kinda like Scorpion's Get Over Here in Mortal Kombat, but not bringing them too close because the Pyromancer is a medium range unit. It deals damage and inflicts ash too. And now we're talking. Ability 3 is the Thermal Bomb. Take a look at this. The ability burns an enemy, and if their health is low enough to eliminate them, they'll literally explode. It's another ability which does not get old. It's a thing of beauty, especially when there are other enemies to take damage from that explosion. So which of these classes is for you? I'm a Trickster main right now. Get in, hit and run, get away. And remember, those are only 12 unlockable skills. There's another 20 to find in your own time. There is far more to each class, but I wanted to show you the wow factor things over the subtle changes and boosts in stats. But if you like to know everything about everything, you should totally check out the Outriders channel, as it's packed with everything you want to know about everything. For me, I just want to feel like an evil superhero. There's way more depth to Outriders, which can be seen in the class skill tree, offering a plethora of ways to make your character the exact way you want them to be. Points acquired in this demo and the full game can be spent here, which should mean having 3 of the same class in one group will still see 3 totally different builds in skills and abilities. This screen looks pretty daunting to me, but it's mainly stat boosts, and if we're unhappy with what we picked, the tree can be reset. One of the things I admire most about Outriders is its insistence for us to fight and not sit back. That's because we are rewarded with health and buffs to play in aggressive ways. And although you can sit back, the AI on the bosses in particular will flush you out. In this boss fight, the minions will flank around the outskirts, while the boss, who is also altered, throws out a fire tornado, which hunts you down slowly, adding an element of spatial awareness and planning. Where the heck do you run to next to stay in charge of the fight? Another boss will actually throw down electrified shrapnel to wherever you're stood, and backs it up with a watchlight of electricity, which we must run away from regardless of position. Thanks to those small things, the game feels consistently fast-paced, instinctive and aggressive, and it's a welcome adrenaline rush. Just in case you weren't aware, Outriders is a team-based affair. I personally like playing these games alone, but I know I'm weird like that. This is ideally a 3-person adventure. I played randoms a few times, but the most fun I had was with a friend when we attempted a no-guns playthrough. It was tough, but only using abilities is extremely fun. You'll notice my characters keep changing appearance. It's because our characters can be altered whenever we see fit, once we've made our initial decision. This isn't anything world-shattering, but there's enough facial type, scars and variants of hair to keep most of us happy. I'm keen not to go overly detailed on things right now. I definitely think you should play the demo and see for yourself if Outriders is a game for you. And should you want more coverage, just let me know. Oh, in fact, there is another piece of info you should know about this demo, and it's that your progress during this time will be taken forward into the full game. All your efforts are recorded and rewarded. Should you choose to, you could find as many journal entries as possible, or maybe mine for iron and gather scrap, which in turn will make your experience in the full game more plentiful. Whilst you're at it, look out for those exotic weapons, which have a tiny chance of dropping in the demo. I've seen some impressive stuff on Twitter and YouTube, but I can't find any myself. Maybe you could be the one to find the next ultra rare loot drop. I think this is a good time to end this. I'm going back to my Trickster main. I'll see you on the battlefield. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. Thanks again to Square Enix for sponsoring this video. I'll see you all next time.